well, today we're talking about the TYCO DPV-1 Dry valve. Now these come actually pre-trimmed, so you don't have to worry about putting all the additions and all that type of stuff on this. This is a 2.5-inch one. This is what's called a differential valve. These are what we put on all dry systems. How that works is that you have water coming from the bottom. If you look in here, you see the small little opening. Then you have your dry on top, the air on top, and then that has a larger set right there that goes down on it. Then right here in between the two is your differential chamber atmospheric pressure. Now this right here is where the trip state, when fire happens, this will pop open, or the air will will release, allowing the water to push through there, popping this open, filling the system. In case that happens, or testing or whatnot, you need to reset the system. Here's your plunger, and it resets the whole entire system just by pushing it down. And there you know, now you're nice and set. If you look on it, you'll notice all the way around here is rubber. That seals around this right here, creating the seal that holds the air and water to each other. So pretty much on all these dry systems, you'll have a compressor. These compressors are designed to be able to fill the system, the full dry system, within a half hour. And then you have your air mains device. This controls the air pressure into there, but we'll talk about that in another video. Now on this side, we have the water side gauge and your air side gauge. If you look, you can definitely tell this one here is standard water one. This one you can see it's a lot smaller. Also, you'll have a retard on there showing that the system's been tripped. Now for your pressure switches, on the top one right here, connected to your air line, is your high air, low air supervisory. And this right here will be your flow switch or pressure switch. What happens when the system trips, water will go through here, setting this off, and it'll constantly go off. So in the state, in the fire happens or you're testing it, this will go off. Then you want to come over here after you've shut the system, drain it off. Right here you have a plunger valve. Make sure you release the pressure, otherwise the system will constantly go off. Just press it, water should go out there, releasing that pressure. So of course, your main drain, main control. Over here you have your auxiliary or top drain. If you look inside, you'll see down there, what's there is your main drain. But if something happens, the system's full with water and you accidentally hit your plunger, that's going to lock that. It won't come out. So usually what we do is we will pipe out your top drain, which if you notice back inside there, back behind your clapper. And that way you can, if anything happens, you actually reset the system when it's still full. You can drain it out through here. Or if you want to possibly try to drain off some of this the water that could be sitting on there, you drain this also from there. You have your test ball valve right here. And you also have your drip valve right there. Usually when the system is tripped or testing, it will constantly run water through here, and you'll see it off of this copper pipe, usually copper line, you'll see water constantly running. So if for some reason we have water running through here, you know either the system's been tripped or something's wrong and you need to figure out why, especially if the alarms aren't going off. So this is set to where usually you'll have to do the whole process of setting the valve. Some people like to go and say 5 psi of water equals 1 psi of air, which is not true. You have to go and actually trip your system to properly set it. You will go fill with air, open up your inspector's test line, and then have somebody in here, and then the minute the valve trips, note where it's at. That's where you want to set your air to trip set. Then you want to have it filled to 10 above. Usually, and then once you do that, you want to set your low air, which is inside of here. I don't have the key for that. So if you come over here, you'll notice a spinning top right here. Yeah, this little toggle right here is spinning. If you notice it says high, that way you can set this so if the air pressure keeps on building past a certain point, it'll set the alarm supervisor off saying, hey, your compressor is still going. On the other side, your low side, same thing. You set it to what you want it at, and then that way it'll, once the air pressure gets down there, it'll set off the alarm and say, hey, your air pressure is too low, your system's about to trip. Usually what you want to do is you want to set the air pressure in the system to what you want the alarm to go off at, and then you play with this until it goes off. So set a 10 above, set your high to that. Then drop down 10 below, or 5 above tripping, and then you set your low to that. So you don't need 40 psi to hold back 100 psi of water. If you notice in here, let me reset it. This is a lot bigger surface area of what the air will push down on than what the water is pressing up on. See how the water outlet is a lot smaller than what the air would be at? Pretty much what that means is that you can't realistically go and just say, oh, it's 5 psi, 4 psi, whatever. You have to trip your system to know where your low air, to know where your trip set's at, to set your system properly. So just so you guys remember that the difference between the water opening and the air surface pressing down on is usually 5 to 1. So if you do the math that way, 20 psi of air should be able to hold back 100 psi of water. But again, always trip your system to know exactly where the system will trip at, and so you can set it properly. Because if you set it too high, you go to do your final testing or your yearly full flow, and it's more than a minute out there, you're going to fail. So yeah.
What is the test valve for?
So every 3 years, 4 years, I have to double check on that one. You have to do a full flow test, which means your test valve. Oh, you're talking about this. You gotta. This is the alarm test, not your test valve. Okay. So when you're going and doing your inspections and you wanted to see if the alarm will go off without actually flowing or doing a partial trip because you put water in the system, you don't want to do that. All you do is come in here, open that up. That allows water from your water valve to go bypass this whole thing and hit to your flow switch. You just open that up, the alarm should go right off, close it, and then you have to come back over here to your plunger valve to release the pressure. Just press it once or twice, a little bit of water will come out, then reset your alarm panel, and that's it.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. These you don't have to realistically worry about your PSI pressure on compressors. They come pretty much preset, unless you get like the Sea Air that comes with it with its own regulated air maintenance device. Then you can set your air pressure on that one. That one's kind of a little different. We'll have to go into that again, another video on that one, so we can go over all of that one. But these are your basic dry valves. A lot of them are pretty similar. We'll talk about some of the other ones like Catholic, which is a lot more different in that it only requires 13 psi max. So that has a lot of different kind of solenoids and things like that. But for the TYCO, these are really simple, really easy to get into, very basic. Yeah. Well, that's it for today, guys. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to put in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that other fun stuff, and see you next time.